This video is part 2 of the previous upload, so for a better introduction, go to the previous video. Although they aren't in a specific order, so feel free to watch this part first, but make sure to watch the previous one for more context. And if you're here from the previous part, welcome back! As you might know, in the previous part I spoke about how to fix Kirby representation in Smash Bros, but I only talked about the fighters, since I finished that topic in that video. In this one I will be talking about the second most important thing in Smash, the stages. And I'll be mentioning other stuff like music tracks and spirits that should have already been in Smash Ultimate, as well as some optional Mii costumes, items, and SS trophies. Now that I have mentioned everything that you're gonna be watching in this video, let us begin with the first part of this video, the stages. Like I mentioned in the previous video, there are 6 Kirby stages, and they all represent the 4 Kirby games worked by Sakurai. That's what I want to see gets fixed. I've made a list of potential stages, and I have then picked 6 to replace the ones in Smash Ultimate. So my stage ideas are the Megaton Punch Arena from Kirby Superstar, the Amazing Mirror Hub from Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, Ku's Forest from Kirby's Dream Land 3 / Kirby Fighters Deluxe, where Rick, Kain, Ku, Peach, Nago, and Choo-Choo cameo in as hazards. Maybe Adeline and Ribbon could also pop up. The Divine Terminous from Kirby Star Allies, Honey Hill from Kirby Star Allies / Rhythm Route from Kirby Planet Robot / Waddle the Train Tracks from Triple Deluxe, which would be a stage with a similar gimmick to Mementos, where it's the same layout but with different visuals. The Jambastation from Kirby Star Allies, the Dream Stock from Kirby Triple Deluxe, Cookie Country from Kirby's Return to Dreamland, the Battle Royale Arena from Kirby Battle Royale, the Plaza from Super Kirby Clash or Team Kirby Clash Deluxe, the Access Arc from Planet Robot, Another Dimension from Kirby's Return to Dreamland, Planet Popstar from just the Kirby franchise in general, where you play actually in space, not in Planet Popstar, so Planet Popstar is in the background and you can see some like little Easter eggs like Ripple Star, the Lore Star Cutter, and other stuff. And finally, Whispy Woods, which unlike the ones already in Smash, it's more like if you were fighting in the middle of a Whispy Woods boss fight. Preferably the one from Kirby's Return to Dreamland. Again, since those are too many, I picked 6 to replace the ones already in game, and to conveniently match the ones with every Kirby fighter that I mentioned on the previous video. I would pick Whispy Woods for Kirby, representing just Kirby in general, Planet Popstar for King Dedede, representing Kirby 64, Kirby Superstar, Kirby Star Allies, Kirby Return to Dreamland, and just any game that takes place in Planet Popstar or has it as a location. We can keep the Halberd for Meta Knight to represent Superstar Ultra, Waddle the Train Tracks / Honey Hill / Rhythm Route for Mendana Waddle D, representing the games where he is in, those being Star Allies, Return to Dreamland, Triple Deluxe, and Planet Robot. Another Dimension for Galactonite, representing Return to Dreamland and Star Allies, specifically the Heroes in Another Dimension mode. And Ku's Forest for Gooey, representing Kirby's Dream Land 2, Kirby's Dream Land 3, and maybe Kirby 64. And those are all the stages I think can be added. There's still more, like probably Castle Dedede or something like that, but those are the ones I personally want and have thought of. But feel free to let me know in the comments if you have any other ideas. Another one of the most important parts of Smash Bros. Is what you listen to while fighting, that being the music. Okay, recent Kirby games are represented here, but compared to classic Kirby, it is still very underrepresented. Like, half of the tracks are remixes of Green Green's, Gourmet Race, Dedede's theme, or the entirety of Kirby's Air Rides OST, while games like Star Allies get only 1 track. That's what I'd like to change here. Kirby music, especially ones from the modern games, are always great, yet in Smash, they aren't here. There are so many excellent songs, like for example Prayer Song to God from Kirby Star Allies, that aren't in Smash. So I'll be showing on screen a whole list of all the Kirby tracks that can be picked from every Kirby game there is. There are so many excellent songs that I won't even be verbally mentioning them, and won't even play them all, because if I did, it would take over 10 minutes. So instead, in this section, I will show in screen each game, the tracks they could bring, and one example being played on the background, which would be the one I would like to get remixed. If you want to skip the music part, there's gonna be a whole list. You can click onto the number on screen right now, and if you want to individually listen to these tracks, there is a playlist on the description with the whole music, so feel free to go there if you like. Also, some tracks here might already be in Smash, but I won't waste any time checking if they are or aren't in, so please bear with me. Now let the music list begin. Now that I finished showing you the music tracks, I'll be mentioning some spirits that should or could be in Smash Bros. Ultimate. I won't be mentioning what their stats or battles would be, but I'm pretty sure you guys might come up with those yourselves. Also, if you do, let me know in the comments, cause I really tried thinking for some of them, and for some others I just gave up. So I would really like to know your ideas. I did think of some of the spirit list fights, but not for everyone. Also, before I go ahead and list some of the spirits, we already have plenty of spirits in Smash, but since I'm already doing this video, I guess I'll just throw in some characters the Smash team seemingly missed. And again, to represent Kirby, we don't need all of the ones I'm mentioning. I'm just mentioning as many characters as I think of. So don't go around like, oh, but we don't really need that. Because, you know, this is just, again, for fun. So, some spirits can be Taranza, which could be a villager that favors grabs. Morphonite, a Meta Knight but has faster and stronger attacks. Highness could be Robin. Stardream can be Giant Rob. Nova can also be a Giant Rob. Zero can be a Giant Kirby with small black Kirbys. 02, Dark Meta Knight can just be a normal Meta Knight fight. Void Termina, Dark Crafter, Jinjarn. Pon and Con, which can maybe be Big Isabelle and Donkey Kong with smaller versions of them. Hotman can be a Wario with Pink Isabelle. Shadow DDD can just be a normal DDD fight. Shadow Kirby can be Kirby, but he runs away from you instead of attacking. Stardream, Adeline, Ribbon, Drossia, Sir Kibble, that can be a Jello Mega Man that favors Neutral B. Alternatively, a Jello Jung Link or Toon Link favoring Side B. Blight Knight, any sword fighter for the matter. Shelly, Ice Climbers maybe. Burning Leo could be a small Charizard. Parasol Waddle Dee can be a small Princess Daisy that favors Up Bs. Sphere Doomers, Dark Matter, Magalore Corrupted, Pix, the Amazing Mirror, which can be a spirit fight against Dark Kirby, Dark Meta Knight, and Dark DDD, Necrodius, Blocky, which can be a Giant Kirby that favors Down B, Ice Dragon can just be Giant Ice Climbers that favor Neutral B, Doc, which can be a Blue Pikachu, Spinny, a Fox that favors Side B, Toro can just be a DDD that favors Up B, Squeakers, Small Isabelles maybe, Hypernova Kirby, which can be Kirby with DDD ability, and Dark Nebula. We can also have Team Kirby, which can be 4 Kirbys, and many other characters. The Kirby series has so many characters, I'm not gonna list them all, but you know, there's endless possibilities for spirit fights, which kind of confuses me because the Smash team seemingly missed some fighters. Like, for example, Taranza isn't in the spirit list, but Queen Sectonia is? Like, what? You know, that stuff happens, I guess. That's just weird. Now let's go into the second point, which isn't really that necessary, but I just want to say it because, again, I have the time. That being the Mii costumes. Cause, yeah, Mii fighters are a thing. So let's give them Kirby costumes then. The Mii costumes would reference characters from the Kirby games that have clothes that could work on Mii proportions, and some might just be headgear, or just clothes. I'll be mentioning the character that the Mii costume is based off, and whether they have a hat, a costume, or just the clothes. So let's start with Whispy Woods, which would be a costume. Then we have the Nightmare Cloak and Helmet, Dark Matter Swordsman's Cloak and Mask, Dark Matter Hat, Kawasaki Apron and Chef Hat, Adeline's Dress and Barrette, Ribbon's Dress and Ribbon, Green Ripple's Robe and Crown, Dark Mind Helmet, Drosia's Outfit and Hat, The Roach's Cloak and Hat, Epic Jarn Hat, Necrodia's Helmet, Bandana Waddle Dee's Bandana, Magolor's Robe and Hood, Terence's Clothes and Wig, Sectonia Dress and Crown, Clacia's Clothes and Wig, Susie's Outfit and Helmet, Haltman Outfit, Dembandra Uniform and Headgear, which changes color depending on your Mii's favorite color, Masked DDD's Mask, DDD Outfit, Crackle Headgear, and literally any Kirby copy ability hat. Now, let's talk about more stuff that is completely unnecessary, but I just have the time to mention it, I have the ideas, and it would still be awesome to see them in Smash. So in this part, I'll be mentioning a bunch of assist trophies I would love to see. Smash already has a couple of Kirby assist trophies, but once again, they fall into Sakurai's bias. The assist trophies we already have are Chef Kawasaki, Knuckle Joe, and Nightmare, which are characters from the games Sakurai directed. So I'll be mentioning other characters from just the entirety of the Kirby series, going all the way from enemies to important characters in the series. We can have Scarfy, which if he's attacked, it mutates and follows the attacker, blowing up once they reach them. We have Crackle, which he could just be floating there doing what he does best, electrifying people. Dark Matter, which flies around shooting dark lasers. Dark Matter Swordsman, which acts like Dark Matter, but has the additional sword attacks. The Animal Friends, which can be borrowed from any of the Animal Friends hazards from Ku's Forest stage. Magolor, which flies around tossing explosive gem apples and can also occasionally throw fireballs, and before leaving pulls a Captain, which has him fly away with the Lord Star Cutter with whoever gets caught in it. Tyrannosaur, which flies around placing spider webs and using his spider web shoot against some opponents, which if they get caught they can just mash buttons, set themselves free. Susie, which rides her mech and does that one spinning move. Highness, which floats around the screen throwing energy balls or whatever they're called. The Roach, which runs and teleports around slashing any opponent in his way, and can also occasionally throw ice beams, which if you get caught, get the freezy effect. Marks, who does his famous black hole move, which is similar to the black hole item but it sucks the opponent in, instead of floating them into the center. Adeline, which creates paintings of Kirby and company that then randomly attack anywhere, and before leaving paints a maximum tomato. Eline, which flies around the screen drawing rainbows that act as platforms and walls. Prince Fluff, which runs around in the stage bumping into opponents, smashing on top of them and grabbing slash throwing them. Mr. Frosty, which runs around the stage acting as he does in Kirby games, throwing ice blocks and freezing opponents. And Zero 2, who roams around the background doing his attacks from Kirby 64. Again, those are some ideas for assist trophies, but there can still be a whole lot more. Because there are so many Kirby enemies, like we can have Waddle, who walks around doing the Beam Whip attack. We can have Chili, which runs around doing the Freezy attack. There's so many Kirby characters, we could have so much more. It's still weird for me that Knuckle Joe is an assist trophy, and he's like not the most interesting Kirby character. But you know, it's better than nothing. And to finish the video off, I'll be mentioning the most unnecessary part and least important way to represent the series, that being the items. Yada yada, there's a lot of items in Kirby games, yada yada, you get the idea. Let's mention them. We have the Beam Wand, which does the classic Beam Whip, the Microphone from Kirby's Dream Land, which does the Mike Kirby attack, a Balloon Bomb or Time Dynamite, which is basically just a bomber that you can move and throw, which it begins to tick the explosion once it spawns. Cracker, which lets you move while shooting. The Prism Shield, which is basically an upwards shield. The Invisibility Stone, which once grabbed turns the player invisible to the eye, although unlike the one in Kirby's Return to Dreamland, leaves the opponent vulnerable, but not invisible. Then there are the final Kirby weapon. We have the Rainbow Sword that can reflect projectiles when slashed. The Love Stick, which is a Star Rod reskin, but if you're in a team battle and you shoot your team member with that, it heals them a little bit. the crystal gun which shoots rapid crystals that cause flinching damage, and the triple star which is just a star rod that shoots 3 stars at once diagonally, and they bounce around anything they bump into. And that's how I would fix the horrible Kirby representation in Smash. So, did I do Kirby justice? Did you guys agree with my ideas? What do you guys think? Did I go a little bit overboard, or was it just fine? Let me know in the comments! I love reading them because they let me know that you guys are enjoying my content. And if you did enjoy them, but don't really have anything to comment about it, at least let me know by liking it. I really appreciate it. Who knows, maybe if these 2 or 3 videos get enough support, I might do another one of these. So if you don't want to miss that, consider subscribing. I post weekly videos so you won't get bored waiting for another one of my uploads. So that's all I have to say. See you next time. Goodbye.